Okay, so, you've been sharing some stuff with us about trying to improve your consistency, right?
Yeah.
Like in your work and even your personal life, too.
Hmm.
We saw that Spica article you sent over, How to Be Consistent as 6 Essential
Yeah,
Tips.
right.
And, there's a lot of advice out there. Sometimes it feels like you can get overloaded with information,
Absolutely.
but you're looking for those real practical strategies that you can start applying now, right?
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it?
So today what we're going to do this deep dive is really unpack those 6 tips.
Okay.
See what makes them work. Maybe find the gems, the gold nuggets in there.
The actionable stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, love it.
So you can actually weave that consistency into your day without feeling like you're adding another, huge thing onto your plate.
Right, exactly. You've put this resource in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
and our mission is to explore it with you
Yeah,
in a way that's immediately helpful.
absolutely.
We want to go, beyond the surface level here.
Yeah.
Uncover those key insights that can make a real difference in how you approach your goals.
Love it. Okay, so the article starts off with setting clear goals.
Okay?
Now, on the face of it, that sounds pretty obvious, right? Like,
Right.
duh, you need goals, but they get specific with the SMART method.
Okay.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Smart goals.
Yeah, we've all probably heard it,
I
right?
have to do.
But let's really unpack why each of those matters for consistency.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Because I think sometimes it's easy to just kind of go, yeah, SMART goals.
Yeah, right.
But what's fascinating here is how each element of SMART
Right.
addresses a common pitfall in goal setting.
Okay.
Take specific, for instance.
Yeah.
A vague goal, like be more consistent with exercise.
Oh, yeah?
That's so easy to ignore, right?
Absolutely.
But go for a 30-minute walk 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That gives you a clear target.
Right.
Removes ambiguity.
Right.
That clarity makes consistent action much more likely.
Yeah, it takes the thinking out of it, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you've already made the decision.
Yeah, it's like, aiming at a bullseye versus just kind of throwing darts
Yes,
in the general
yes,
direction.
Totally.
And measurable is key, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you know if you're even on the right track if you can't track your progress?
Right.
So with our walking example, you can tick off each walk you complete.
Okay.
That provides tangible feedback.
It does. And that feedback loop, I think, is crucial for motivation.
Yeah.
And maintaining consistency, seeing that you're actually making progress,
Mm-hmm.
reinforces the behavior. Now, achievable.
Oh, yeah.
There's a temptation to set really ambitious goals,
Totally.
but the article wisely points out the importance of realism.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on finding that balance
Yeah.
between challenging yourself and setting something that you can actually stick to?
That's such a good question. I think the danger is either setting the bar so low
Right.
that it doesn't feel meaningful,
Exactly.
or setting it so high
Yeah,
that you get discouraged.
absolutely.
After the first hurdle,
Right.
it's about that realistic stretch, like the article says,
Yeah.
considering your current resources and skills.
Right.
So maybe starting with those 3 walks a week
Yeah.
and then building up.
Yeah, it's about, creating a foundation of consistent small wins
Right.
that build momentum.
Totally. And then we have relevant.
Yes,
This, for me, is where a lot of well-intentioned goals fall apart.
I agree.
If the goal doesn't truly align with your values or your bigger picture,
Mhm.
maintaining consistency is going to feel like a constant uphill battle.
Yeah, it's going to feel like a chore, isn't it?
It is why consistently slog away at something you don't actually care about, right?
Right.
The article hints that relevance fuels intrinsic motivation,
Yes.
which makes consistency feel less like a chore.
Exactly.
And finally, time-bound?
Oh, yeah.
That deadline creates a sense of urgency, doesn't it?
It does. Without a time frame, goals can just drift indefinitely.
Yeah, the
But
guy win.
creates a forcing function.
Mm-hmm.
It prompts you to plan and prioritize,
Right.
which are essential for consistent action.
Yeah, so the SMART framework isn't just a dusty acronym. It's a really practical way to engineer goals
Yes.
that you're more likely to consistently pursue.
I love that word, engineer.
Yeah.
It's like you're designing them for success.
You are. You're setting yourself up for
Yeah.
that consistent action.
I love it.
Okay, so we've got our crystal clear SMART goals.
All right?
But then comes the daily barrage of tasks and to-dos.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
The article, a second tip, tackles this head-on.
Okay.
Prioritization.
Prioritization.
Because feeling overwhelmed is practically a guarantee that consistency will go out the window.
It is. And what's fascinating here is the psychological impact of feeling overwhelmed.
Hmm?
It can lead to analysis paralysis,
Oh, yeah.
where you're so bogged down by choices
Right.
that you end up doing nothing consistently.
Totally.
Prioritization offers a way to cut through that mental clutter.
Yes. And the article gives us a few tools for this.
Okay.
The classic to-do list, of course.
Of course, right.
But they also suggest a not to-do list.
Okay.
I find that kind of counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but intriguing.
It is. The not-to-do list can be incredibly liberating.
Okay.
It's about consciously identifying and deciding against
Right.
activities that drain your time and energy
Yeah.
without contributing to your goals.
Totally.
It's a proactive way to protect your focus and energy for what truly matters.
Mm-hmm.
Think about those habitual distractions, checking email, constantly scrolling social media.
Oh, yeah.
Putting those on a not-to-do list
Right.
can be a powerful first step.
It's about intentional inattention,
Yes,
almost.
I love that.
Then they dive into more structured methods,
Okay.
like the Eisenhower Matrix, urgent, important.
Right, the 4 quadrants.
Can you give us the quick breakdown on why that's so useful for consistency?
Yeah, so the beauty of the Eisenhower Matrix
Yeah.
lies in its simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
By categorizing tasks based on urgency and importance.
Right.
It forces you to make deliberate choices
Okay.
about where to direct your energy.
Okay.
Consistently focusing on the important, not urgent quadrant
Yeah.
is often where the real progress towards long-term goals happens.
Yeah.
These are the tasks that contribute to your overall vision,
Right.
but don't have immediate deadlines.
Yeah.
So they often get pushed aside if you're just reacting to urgent demand.
Totally. Those strategic planning or skill building activities
yes.
that are crucial but never feel immediately pressing.
Right.
And the Matrix helps you see what to tackle now.
Yeah.
Urgent, important, what to schedule.
Important, not urgent.
Exactly what to delegate.
Urgent, not important.
And what to just ditch.
Not urgent, not
Just
important.
get rid of it.
Yeah, love it.
Then there's the ABCDE technique.
Okay, yeah.
How does that help with daily consistency?
The ABCDE method provides a very straightforward hierarchy.
Okay.
By assigning a priority level to each task,
Mm-hmm.
you eliminate the mental debate about what to do next.
Right.
You simply start with your A tasks
Okay.
and don't move on until they're done.
Yeah.
This clear structure can build a consistent rhythm to your work day
Right.
and ensure that your most important tasks consistently get addressed.
I like that non-nonsense approach.
Yeah.
So whether it's a mental not-to-be list
Mm-hmm.
or a structured matrix,
Yeah.
the underlying principle is the same.
It is.
Consistent progress comes from consistently focusing on the right things.
You got it.
Mastering prioritization isn't just about managing your workload.
Right.
It's about managing your focus,
Exactly.
ensuring that your consistent efforts are directed towards what will yield the greatest results.
Absolutely.
All right, the third tip in the article is recording your progress.
Okay.
Now, why is this more than just a feel-good exercise? How does it actually boost consistency?
What's fascinating here is the psychological reinforcement that comes with seeing your progress visually.
Okay.
It provides tangible evidence of your commitment and effort,
Mm-hmm.
which can be incredibly motivating, especially during those times when you feel like you're not getting anywhere.
Totally.
It's like seeing the miles you've run on a fitness tracker.
Yeah.
It encourages you to keep going.
Yeah, and the article points out that you can go low-tech with a simple journal
Right?
or high-tech with spreadsheets or dedicated apps.
Absolutely.
Does the method really matter as long as you're doing it?
The key is to choose a method that you'll consistently stick with.
Right.
For some, the act of physically writing in a journal
Yeah,
can be a valuable reflective
I
practice.
just can see that.
For others, the automation and data visualization of an app might be more appealing and easier to maintain.
Right.
The most effective method is the one that you'll use consistently.
It creates that feedback loop, doesn't it?
It does.
Put in the work,
Yeah.
track it.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that progress reinforces the positive behavior,
Yes.
making you more likely to stay consistent.
Precisely. And it also allows you to identify patterns.
Oh, interesting.
You might notice that you're consistently more productive at certain times of day,
Okay.
or that certain activities consistently get pushed to the bottom of your list.
Yeah,
This data can provide valuable insights for adjusting your approach
right.
and improving your consistency.
Okay, now for the arch nemesis of consistency,
Oh,
distractions.
Yes, the Annie.
Tip number 4 is all about limiting them.
Okay.
Easier said than done in our hyper-connected world, right?
Absolutely, our attention is constantly being pulled in a million different directions.
It is.
The article provides some really practical, actionable advice here.
Okay.
Creating a dedicated workspace, for example, isn't just about having a physical area.
Right.
It's about creating a mental association
Okay.
between that space and focused work.
Right. It's like signaling to your brain, okay, when I'm here,
Yes.
it's work time.
Exactly.
And then the obvious one, turning off those phone notifications.
Oh, yes.
It's amazing how much that can impact your focus.
It's almost a radical act in today's environment.
It is.
The article also mentions limiting web browsing and social media.
Oh, huge.
These could be huge time sinks
Yeah, they are.
that derail even the best intentions.
Totally.
Using website blockers or setting specific times for taking social medias
Mm-hmm.
can be surprisingly effective.
They also touch on time management techniques,
Okay.
like the Pomodoro technique.
Right.
How does structuring your work time help with limiting distractions?
Techniques like the Pomodoro technique build in focused work intervals
Okay.
with scheduled breaks.
Mm-hmm.
This structure can help you resist the urge to get distracted because, a break is getting.
Right.
It's about working in focused bursts
Okay.
rather than trying to maintain concentration for hours on end,
Yeah.
which is often a recipe for distraction.
And burnout probably too.
Oh, for sure.
So it's about creating both external barriers,
Yes.
like a dedicated workspace,
Mm-hmm.
turning off notifications, and internal structures,
Okay.
like time management techniques
Yeah.
to protect your focus and foster consistency.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about proactively designing your environment
Right.
and your work habits
Mm-hmm.
to minimize the opportunities for those sneaky distractions
Yeah.
to derail your consistent efforts.
Tip number 5 shifts our focus a bit to time tracking.
Okay, time tracking.
Now, we talked about recording progress, but
Right.
time tracking seems more about understanding where your time actually goes, right?
Precisely. Well, recording progress focuses on the outcomes you achieve.
Okay.
Time tracking delved into the input,
Okay.
the actual time you're investing in different activities.
Mm-hmm.
The article outlines various methods from simple pen and paper logs
Yeah.
to more sophisticated digital tools.
So you could just jot down how long you spend on tasks or,
Right.
or use an app that automatically tracks your activities.
Exactly.
What's the real benefit of getting that granular with your time?
What's truly eye-opening about time tracking is the awareness it creates.
Okay.
You might think you're spending an hour on a certain task.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually track it,
Yeah.
you realize it's closer to 2, with all the interruptions and mini distractions.
Wow.
The article emphasizes asking yourself critical questions
Yeah.
after tracking your time.
Like, why did this take so long?
Exactly.
Could I have done it more efficiently?
Yes.
I see how that kind of analysis
Mhm.
can reveal hidden time wasters
Mm-hmm.
and identify areas where you can streamline your efforts,
Right.
ultimately boosting your consistency on important tasks.
Precisely by analyzing your time logs,
Yeah.
you can identify recurring bottlenecks,
Okay.
understand where your most productive hours are,
Right.
and make informed decisions about how to better allocate your time in the future.
It's like getting a detailed audit of your most valuable resource, your time.
Exactly. And that awareness empowers you to be more intentional
Right.
and consistent with how you use it.
Absolutely. You can't optimize what you don't measure.
You got it.
Time tracking provides that measurement,
Yes.
gives you the insights you need to
Mhm.
make more consistent and effective use of your time.
Absolutely.
We've reached the final tip from the article,
Okay.
and this one feels crucial for the long haul.
All right.
Being patient and forgiving of failures.
Okay.
Because let's face it,
Yeah.
the path to consistency isn't always smooth.
It's bumpy.
It is.
There are ups and downs.
Setbacks are inevitable.
They are.
The article wisely emphasizes that how you respond to those setbacks
Right.
is what truly determines your long-term consistency.
Yes.
It's about not letting a slip-up derail your entire effort.
Right. Just because you miss a day
Yeah.
doesn't mean you failed.
Exactly.
It's about getting back on track.
They even bring in that quote from Carol Dweck's Mindset
Oh, yeah.
about the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset.
Right.
How does that relate to bouncing back from inconsistencies?
What's so powerful here is the idea that a growth mindset
Yeah.
sees challenges and failures as opportunities for learning and growth,
Mm-hmm.
rather than as evidence of a fundamental lack of ability.
Totally.
So when you inevitably experience a lapse in consistency,
Yeah.
a growth mindset allows you to say, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust my approach moving forward?
Yeah.
Rather than throwing in the towel.
So it's about reframing those moments of inconsistency.
Yes,
Not as personal failings,
exactly.
but as valuable feedback that helps you refine your strategies
Hmm.
and build stronger habits over time.
You got it.
Patience and self-compassion are essential components of building lasting consistency.
I agree.
It's about recognizing that progress isn't always linear
Absolutely.
and that learning from those inevitable stumbles
Yeah,
is a vital part of the journey.
it is. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
6 powerful tips for building consistency.
Yeah, from setting those SMART goals
Right.
to mastering prioritization to recording your progress,
Mm-hmm.
limiting those pesky distractions, tracking your time.
Yes,
And that crucial element of patience and self-forgiveness.
it's all about the long game.
It is. And, going back to what you said at the beginning about wanting to find those actionable takeaways,
Right.
I think these tips offer a really solid framework for starting to build more consistency in your life.
They do. And you don't have to implement all of them at once.
No.
Maybe choose one or two that resonate with you the most
Yeah.
and experiment with them for a week or two.
Right.
See what kind of impact they have.
Totally. I think that's great advice.
I think so too.
And maybe something for you to think about as you go forward is how can embracing small, consistent efforts, even with those occasional stumbles,
Yes.
ultimately lead to far greater achievements than striving for perfection from the outset.
It's a powerful shift in perspective.
It is so just something to mull over
Absolutely.
as you embark on your journey towards greater consistency.
Love it.